So for those that don't know, I'm working with Gays Against Groomers, an organization led by gay people combating the grooming of children in our school systems and from adults. Basically, I lead California and was invited as an organization member to attend a school board meeting in Northern California. This is where I was able to speak to the school board on behalf of Gays Against Groomers. We were there contesting these pride flags that they painted across their school campuses, especially for the ones of 5, 6, and 7-year-olds, was very inappropriate, and we were there leading a protest. Now, when we met the organization Castro Valley Pride, they were a huge proponent of the opposition from the other side of the street, letting us know that they were not in support of us being there. That's important because you'll find out later in this show of what exactly Castro Valley Pride has in conjunction with the school board. Details on that later. Now, this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Bay Area Against Mandates, which is an organization led by Jackie in Castro Valley. She alerted me of what was happening at Castro Valley Unified School District, which led to me unfolding all in which you're about to see here today. Thank you, Jackie, for all of your efforts in assisting me and Gays Against Groomers in escorting me not only from my hotel, but around and ensuring our safety and my safety. I appreciate your leadership, and I cannot wait to work with you again. After I left this protest and spoke at the board meeting, I was actually sent so many DMs, thank yous, and appreciations from everyone in Castro Valley. Now, here's the most important part. We were approached by 2 different parents wanting to expose 2 different things that was happening with their children inside of Castro Valley Unified School District's campuses. So check this out. I met with a parent of a 14-year-old that was inside of her health class when she was given a questionnaire asking her randomly about her sexual orientation and how she identifies in her gender. The reason that this is important is because not only did the principal not know about this, this was also given by a non-school official that was invited on campus by a teacher. When your daughter came home and showed you this, what was your initial reaction?
So she was actually texting me pictures of it from class. Initially I was pretty upset. The first question, like your gender, whatever, like it's sad to say, but I guess I've gotten used to that portion of it. But the fact that they're asking 14-year-olds what your sexual orientation is, like who are you sexually attracted to? Why does any grown adult need to know that about any child?
And what class was she in when was this at least a health class? Like
it was.
Okay. So was she going under, sex ed, or was this just a random day?
Are you guys mostly learning about like sex ed right now, or is it just
No, sex ed isn't until like the end of the semester. Right now, we're finishing up like mental health, like anxiety, depression, things like that. And today we had a guest speaker who was just talking about like mental health and like suicide prevention. And it was just the pictures that I sent my mom during class. It was just a picture of questions on a survey that they gave us in the beginning.
Was this an organization, or were they part of the school?
the guest speaker?
I have no idea.
Never know.
Well, if they're a guest, it's probably safe to say that they might not be a part of the school. So
Right.
when you got this, and bear with me, but what was going through your head as a student?
I was just kind of surprised, and like I thought it was really unnecessary for them to be asking that because it was so irrelevant, like from the topic that they were supposed to be teaching us.
What did your classmates say?
One of my friends who I was sitting next to said like kind of the same thing because she's kind of on the same page as I am. So she was just like kind of making a joke about it.
Did you reach out to the school about this?
I did. I emailed the principal, and he actually emailed me back just a couple of hours ago, and he just asked what class and who's the instructor.
How long ago did this happen?
It was early this afternoon that I emailed.
Oh, this was today.
It was today. Yes.
Oh my.
Yeah. Did either the guest speaker or the teacher tie in this question as to the relevance of the topic today?
No, it was just on the piece of paper that we got, and they didn't talk about it or anything. It was just like, it was like a normal question to them.
What is it like now on a high school campus? Are students very fluid with gosh, I hate even saying this, like With sex in high school? Like,
There is a gender neutral restroom
mm-hmm.
on the campus.
Oh yeah, I've walked in on people before.
What do you mean you walked in on people before?
Like just in the stalls. So like in a normal bathroom at a school or like public place, you can see over and under the stalls a little bit, but in the gender neutral ones, you can't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you just like
So you've walked in on people at a school in a
Yeah.
stall together,
I have, yeah.
doing things like this?
Yes. And oftentimes I see like couples walk out of the same stall.
Understanding the fruition of where gender neutral bathrooms come from is very important, and understanding how this is now an issue in our high school campuses. State Superintendent Tony Thurmond announces new efforts to expand gender neutral efforts in California schools. This was back in November 19, 2021. Please note that his contact information is there to let him know of this story. We have to give our students all the support they need, including access to bathrooms they can use safely, Superintendent Thurmond said. I have been inspired by other students who have advocated on this issue and want to give students the opportunity to be a part of finding the solution. The question now becomes, when we decided to have gender-neutral restrooms, did anyone stop to think what would happen with high school students and possible intercourse, and what we were going to do to help combat that and discourage that type of behavior? This is not the only time that a student from Castro Valley School District has approached me and let me know that there are inappropriate things that happen in these gender-neutral restrooms. It makes me wonder, are they checking? Are they ensuring that these restrooms are safe for all students? Because it sounds like they are a free-for-all for when students want some privacy on campus. After meeting with this parent, I was horrified by the stories that her daughter was sharing with me. It actually motivated me to want to do this documentary, to be able to show people the reason why Gays Against Groomers is so important. And for those that don't know, Gays Against Groomers is actively being banned from multiple big tech medias, PayPal, Venmo, Twitter. This coalition of gay people is deriving from wanting us to protect children. And just like Castro Valley Unified School District, just like Castro Valley Pride, we were not met with welcoming arms when we were there trying to voice our opinion. One of the things that is important about this is private interest inside of our elected officials is a corruption, one in which anyone can agree that it's not okay. Anytime a private entity is influencing a public official, that's when you have to start questioning the motives of them and their organization. In this next interview, we're going to unveil a parent that is deeply concerned with the private interest of the school board at Castro Valley Unified. For the viewers, tell them exactly what you got and how old your child is and what happened.
Okay, so my youngest child she was 4 at the time when I received the questionnaire for her kindergarten class. The questionnaire is, getting to know your child. I received it from her elementary school prior to her going into school. It has, the first question asks for her pronouns and gives they, them as an option to check off. I have 2 other children in the schools, one in the same exact school who's in 4th grade, and he was not given this questionnaire. My 6th grader was not given this questionnaire. Only my 4-year-old. So I spoke with the teacher actually when we had parent-teacher conferences and asked her who implemented this or where did this come from. She actually didn't have the answer to that. To me, it looks like it's targeting just
Grooming.
the youngest.
Yeah. Targeting the
So,
most vulnerable when it comes to influence. It seems like it's Castro Valley Unified, correct?
Yes.
It seems like to me Castro Valley Unified is extremely progressive in this area.
They have been for some time, but it's progressively gotten worse.
How so?
They were keeping it away from the elementary schools a little bit more, and it's progressing to where it's younger and younger now with the pride murals on the walls at the elementary school.
Would you say that the LGBT community has been put on a pedestal when it comes to the education system?
Very much so. Yeah, I don't think that the parents' voices matter. I know that those that are on the school board happen to be very close personal friends with LGBT community members
Mhm.
that run organizations. And I feel like that is why things are being passed. There was a PowerPoint that was presented. I believe it was from CV Pride that was presented to the school board. I don't know if the two high school students were involved in this as well, but it was a simple PowerPoint, and it gave one page had a few percentages on, violence or bullying, and it had no data, and it was given by, I know CV Pride was very involved. They're very close personal friends. If you go to their Facebooks, you can see that the board president is close friends with, Pride presidents and directors, and so they're very influential.
These people have built friendships over taking care of the kids, and that's what they
Right.
were elected to do here. And it seems
Right.
like the influence from these outside organizations are truly what's happening in this school. I've seen CV Pride to
Right.
be extremely active here, and it seems
Mhm.
like they're almost penetrated the school board and is now kind of influencing it and help running it, and they're unelected.
I did want to say something else. I kind of want to mention something else in regards to the fact that the school board president and board members are very close with Pride organization leaders. It's fine whatever they do in their personal life, and they can have whomever they want as friends, but it's a real conflict of interest when it starts to influence their professional career.
Castro Valley Unified and Castro Valley Pride both have ignored my attempts of inviting them on my show to bring clarity of what is actually happening in Castro Valley. It's scary to think about a private interest based on sexual orientation can actually have a heavy influence on what happens with your kids. Here at Gays Against Groomers, it's important that despite how this may look on our community, we want people to know the truth. We want to be able to look at these actions and say, this is not okay. A sexual orientation organization should have zero influence on what happens with your children at schools. Gays Against Groomers and myself, we do not condone this type of behavior. We believe that children should be able to be themselves and grow in and being who they are when they are comfortable. One of the things that people fail to realize when it comes to being able to identify as gay, trans, queer, whatever it is you're going to identify, you need to be able to come to that fruition on your own. External influences can truly have a heavy bearing on how a person brings themselves to be of who they are. One of the things that I will say is, at schools, there's no room for sexual orientation. Castro Valley Pride, I've openly invited you on this show. I've seen some of the things that you have done to the public on the name of Pride. I want you to know that you do not represent the LGBTQIA community. You actually represent your private interest in the way that you behave and the way that you treat the public. As a community that's supposed to be built on love, I would love to see you push that out of your organization. Not only has myself, but also Gays Against Groomers and these parents have been subject to attacks from your organization. See, now the difference is Gays Against Groomers is actually able to step in the way, be the shield to these parents when they want to open up their feelings and their thought process when it comes to objecting to LGBTQIA being in schools. It does not make you transphobic. It does not make you homophobic. It makes you wanting your child to grow up without an influence of society. Gays Against Groomers is committed to exposing all of the things that are happening within our communities, to defending gay pride and ensuring that we do not allow pedophiles or anything of the sort to penetrate the school system, and ensure that we all live a society where children can walk this planet, walk our country safely. This is why Gays Against Groomers is launching in multiple countries and not in just California, not just in the United States and not just in California. If you go to gaysagainstgroomers.com, you're actually able to look at all of the members, purchase merch, and hopefully if we get our donation system back up and running, you're able to donate as well. So definitely go to gaysagainstgroomers.com. For those of you that are tuning in from the Frank Rodriguez Show, I want you to know that I'm very committed to bringing the information to you and the facts. I'm going to do everything in my power to give as many parents a voice as possible. If you are someone, or you know of someone, that has an event at their school that needs attention, you can go to Frank Rodriguez Show and submit the story there to have it on this show specifically. And here I am again, inviting Castro Valley Unified School District and Castro Valley Pride on the show to defend these actions that they have so exposed themselves to children. It is time you guys answer for these actions, and it's time that you explain to the public why it is that you're doing what you're doing.